Hi guys, welcome back to New Dram Drinker. Today we've got another uncut video for you of a whiskey that we've had for quite a while, to be honest. It's the bottle's virtually empty, but we've just got enough to do a review because we wanted to bring it to you to show you what we thought of it, to be honest.
Have you ever had one of those bottles that you finish a bottle, move it, and you go, oh, I forgot that was there behind.
It was at the back of the the bar, and we just got, oh, we haven't reviewed that, we'll get to that.
So, well, there's some left.
So we're going to show you what it is now. Some of you might have had it. It's quite it's been out there a while now, so it's an interesting kind of bottle as well, so you might have experienced it yourselves already, so it'd be interesting to know what you thought of it in the comments if you can. So what is it?
It is the Lakes, the orange wine cask finished.
You can probably understand why I was kind of eager to get this one, because I've got a little bit of a, I don't know, is orange classed as a sweet tough? It to me it comes across like it's going to be quite a sweet.
Maybe.
Because it's orange wine.
Yeah, you don't tend to get orange wine so much in England, but in Europe you get orange wines and green wines and all sorts.
Yeah, so that's kind of my thinking, was that it was going to be a nice sweet kind of fruity whiskey. So we're going to talk you through it now, and you'll find out whether it actually was everything that we thought it was going to be. It's been a while, to be honest, since we've tried it. So
I genuinely can't remember.
I feel
awful. I feel like I should have done my homework, but I haven't.
The fact that it didn't end up in a cocktail tells me we enjoyed it, but it's been a while, so it's almost like a new experience for us again. So we're going to go for it now.
And I think because it's the Lakes, you know, we quite like the Lakes whiskies. I wouldn't put those in a cocktail. So
it depends. Sometimes it doesn't matter what they are. If they're not good, they go in a cocktail.
I wouldn't.
Well, we'll see. Okay, so we've got it here. Well, we're going to talk about the bottle to start with, because I always tend to forget on these uncut videos to look at the bottle. But it is pretty standard.
Classic Lakes
Bottle. I know they do a few different styles. I think they've got one that's a bit more moulded, haven't they? With like the shapes on the bottom and stuff.
I like that the Lakes put the Lakes Distillery on the top of there. If you look down, it actually says it. There's not many bottles that do that, and a great cork.
Yeah, so it's a nice bottle. I think it's elegant. It screams simple. The Lakes. It doesn't really scream anything. It's not doing a lot really, but I think the fact when a bottle makes you think of a brand, then it's doing the job.
Yeah.
But
they know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are, and it's a decent bottle. I'll give it a pass on that one for me. Okay, so let's move on to the colour. So we've got a couple of coins as ever on top of our drams, and the first one is the Kilted Drammer. We've had that recently. These are very new coins, hot off the press. So I think he's selling them now. So if you want one, find him over on YouTube or social medias. If you collect your coins, there's another one to collect. And this one is ours. So it's the bottle kill, if you can see it.
Which we actually might do if we like this enough to have another dram. We probably will go on,
be bottle kill tonight. So it's got our logo on the back with a bit of blood to show that it's been killed. We've still got, I can look up there, we've probably still got 5 or 6 left. So if you want one, just put in the comments and I'll get in touch with you and we'll arrange it. But let's get on to this, shall we? So colour, looks like, is it coloured?
It's a blend.
Or non-chill filtered?
It's a blend, so.
Blimey, that writing small, my eyesight is getting awful. I can't read on there whether it's coloured or non-chill filtered or not, but I will bring a pop-up to let you know if it is or not. But what do you think on the nose? There's definitely a fruitiness there, isn't there? It's very kind of a light nose.
I thought I would get orange. I thought I would get smacked in the face by oranges, and I'm not actually.
And we poured these drams a good half an hour ago, didn't we? Let them breathe for a bit, then we popped the coins on the top after about 15 minutes. So they've had the time to kind of develop.
It's very fruity, but there's quite a nice...
Orange isn't the note that you kind of pick up, is it?
It is fruity. I want to use the word smooth, which I know people frown at, but it noses smooth, if that makes sense. It feels quite nice and subtle.
But I'm still getting a bit of an ABV. I think it's
46.6. Yeah, the ABV's there. There's a spirit note, I would say.
There's a funky note as well.
Yes, there is a funky note.
But I can't quite put
Sometimes
my finger
I feel
on.
like I get that with English whiskies, though. There's a tang for English whiskies. I'm not saying I'd be able to pull them out in a lineup.
I'm just trying to get.
I've had this before.
I'm thinking that there's maybe a bit of like orange rind in there, rather than a full-on kind of
Oh, do you know
juicy
what?
orange, like an orange rind.
I'm getting the orange now.
Yeah. Like there's been like an orange slice has been put into it slightly, but not crazily.
And I'm not going to say it's the power of suggestion, because I actually knows this thinking, this probably got oranges in, but I didn't get it. But actually, when I stuck my nose quite deep in, I have actually got that now.
I think one of my biggest issues that I have is when they have these cask finishes, I always expect that finish to be so strong and powerful, because that's the thing that they're screaming about, isn't it? You know, that's the selling point of this bottle of whiskey. It's the orange cask. So it's not their fault, it's more my fault, because I just think it's going to be so much more prevalent than it probably is ever going to be, to be honest.
I'm going to say I am getting now fresh orange juice. You know, when you go to a cafe or in a restaurant and they put the oranges in that machine and the orange juice comes out, that's what it smells like. Not supermarket carton orange juice. Brand new, juicy, fresh juice.
Yeah, I'm maybe not there quite as much.
I am. I've really got that now.
Like I said, to me, it's just the orange rind. So, should we taste it?
I was just trying to pinpoint that funky note.
Yeah, the funky note's a hard one, isn't it? Because it's a common note, but I don't know what the note is.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like a dusty note.
I did think that, dusty, but...
We did clean the glasses, so it's not that. Let's go for the palate.
Our glasses don't sit on the bar long enough
they're not
to
empty
collect.
enough to get dusty. Okay, let's go. Let's go for the palate. Okay, so instantly there's a bit more of an orange kick on the palate. Definitely
Spicy.
a bit more spicy. Yeah. Like you say, it's like an orange that's been dusted in
It's
spice.
tangy, you know.
But not a spice as in like a curried spice. It's like a cooking spice, isn't it?
You know, like fresh oranges have that. It's not bitter, but it's quite a shong.
A shong.
That was sharp and strong.
Another new word. A shong. Come
This
on,
is my
back to
first whiskey of the day as well.
Back to the video.
A sharp, strong. You know that tang.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it is. But then it is spicy. It definitely is spicy.
It's quite thick. Got a viscous kind of whiskey, coat your mouth. Feels almost treacly, but almost. See, I was thinking of trying to like get marmalade, if you know what I mean. That was my kind of initial thought. I thought it might be like a whiskey with like marmalade kind of notes, but it's not.
I
really
can see
that.
why you said treacle, because it is thick, but my experience of treacle is like golden syrup, really thick. It's not that sugary, but there's almost like a caramel, buttery note.
Yeah.
I think it's butter. I don't think it is caramel. I've said it's not like toffee. It's like a butter note. There is a creaminess there, isn't there? Which I think is the thick.
It is very thick.
Really thick whiskey.
You just take a slight amount less than you would usually, and it just completely coats your mouth. It does it. It's like doesn't it? It's quite thick. It feels thicker the less you drink of it.
Don't you love that? Like when we first drank whiskey, I never thought that mouthfeel was a thing. Like cold or fizzy or viscous or smooth or watery. Like I didn't even know that was a thing that you talked about.
They say spices are actually making my tongue kind of sting.
Tingle. Isn't
I almost have
it?
a cut on my tongue. And
That's what I thought. It's quite
sting. But it's very puddingy.
There's less orange.
I'm trying to think of what puddings would have.
I think it's buttery.
Do you think there's a burnt note as well? Like an orange like that.
I was going to say like a Madeira cake, like it's like a vanilla-y, buttery, but maybe with the orange
I think I'm getting
zest on the top. I'm going to see
when I dry our orange slices out for our old fashions and our cocktails and things, sometimes when I used to do them in the past and I used to do them in the oven, some of them would burn, and there was that kind of tainted orange kind of burnt note.
I was going to say smoke. It's not smoke.
No, it's not smoke.
And it's almost, the orange to me is like, when you sprinkle orange zest on the top of, I'm going to say like a vanilla cake. Like a loaf cake that's vanilla-y, buttery, with the zest on the top. But there is a little smoky note, but it's not smoke.
No, I think it comes on the back of the spices. It just rides on the back of those.
Maybe when you make your cake and, you know, like the edges might get burnt a little bit.
Yeah, I think we've said, yeah,
Kind
it's
of
like
that.
that and the orange. Like maybe if you've done some of the, you've grated some of the orange over the top of something that you're cooking in the oven and those bits have just burnt. It's that kind of sensation.
There is a little tang to that. You are right, yeah.
The finish, for me, it's long.
Yeah.
I've still got it now.
And it's spicy in the sense of it's drying my mouth. You know, when your mouth goes like dry.
Yeah. It's a nice finish.
It is nice
because
finish.
it keeps some of the fruits.
I'm going to say it's a really, really pleasant
Some
whiskey.
of the lighter notes hang around, even though it's spicy. And
I think that buttery note is there for me. The butter type note. It's definitely not caramel, but it's a sweet buttery note, like melted butter maybe in the cake. I'm going to stick to the cake theme.
You're right. The buttery note is definitely.
But it's there all the way through. It's a really, really delicious whiskey.
A bit of wood as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of wood on the finish comes through. But only on the finish, not so much on the palate. I'm thinking that's what the funky note is for us. We get
and the
that,
drying, because at the end, at the finish, it is drying, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think overall? Then do you like it?
Delightful.
Nice,
It's really nice. Yeah.
It's nice.
Really
Would you
lovely.
buy another bottle?
Yes,
Yeah,
I would 100%.
One of the new things we want to bring into these videos is called highlights. And it's basically just a couple of highlights each about the whiskey. So if you can't be bothered to watch the whole of this video, you can skip to the highlights.
Can't be bothered to watch the whole of our video.
Skip to the highlights and see what we thought about it, just in like 4 words, really. So
4, you've put
2
4.
each, even less than that. Yeah. So what would you say your 2 highlights of this whiskey are?
I think it's a very consistent whiskey. So consistent is one, because what you get on the palate follows, what you get on the nose, follows through to the palate and the finish. And I think that buttery note, it's like that Madeira cake is there.
Yeah, cool. Is that it?
Yeah, I was going to say with like a sprinkle of orange, but
Is that
like
your 2?
the orange isn't huge. It's consistent and it's like buttery cake.
Yeah. Cool. That 2, is it? I lost count.
Well, the 2 notes you said, but you can't do 2 words.
My 2, I would say 1 is the bottle, just purely because you know what the brand is. If it was, if you're standing, I've done this before, where I think if you're standing at the end of an aisle and you see the bottle, you know the brand of whiskey that's going to be in it. So I think that's a good thing. And I would just say the fact that they're trying different things for me, like the orange cask is something new. It's nice, novel, fun. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, the whiskey itself is great, but I think the 2 things that stand out for me is just the bottle itself and the fact that they're just trying different things, which is always a bonus.
I like that we both said we would buy another bottle of this.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good measure for me. Yeah.
So yeah, we recommend this. Give it a go. If it's I think you need a sweet tooth, because there's definitely
It's
quite
not overly sweet. It's not really fresh and powdered sugar or anything like that, but it is fruity.
It's on the higher.
It's fruity.
It's the higher kind of like say a sweet sugary kind of note.
Cake almost, yeah.
So if that's not your thing, don't bother. But if you like trying new things and you have got a little bit of a fruity, sweety kind of palate, give it a go. It's a good dram. I don't think it's too expensive either. I can't remember how much it was, but you'll have seen it because I'll bring it up at the start of this video exactly how much it is at this very
We really
time.
didn't do any homework for this one, did we? We were just like, oh, I can't
Let's do
believe
this
that's
one.
still there. Let's do this one.
We're nothing if not on the off the cuff.
Yeah.
So
Spontaneous.
So thank you for watching. It has been a pleasure as always. We will have another video next week, so keep watching. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe and like button, please do that now, because we're still watching our stats and more than half of you aren't subscribed. So please just give us that subscribe. It just helps us so much know you're enjoying our videos. So have a great week and we'll see you again next